Hello guys, today was 24th May 2023, which happens to be a Wednesday. Now let's begin with our post session analysis. First, moving on to the market environment review. First question: with the hindsight, how would you define the market environment? Well, with the hindsight, market environment was sideways market environment on the daily time frame, whereas on the trading time frame, it was a trending time frame, trending market environment on both volatile trending market environment. How successful were you in identifying the market environment during the trading session? When the markets opened, I was quite successful in identifying where the market would move. Today, I traded in the morning. I traded Nifty because it was more coherent for me to understand where the Nifty would go actually, because of the clearly defined support and supply zone and the demand zone. So this was the supply zone, whereas this red line, red area, was the previous supply demand zone from where the market opened gap up, and also this was the previous supply zone, which so this now acted. So the price opened at 300, above 300, and made this thing shooting star candle, and then it closed at 15 minutes above 300 as well. So this was a very good opportunity to go long. How successful were you in identify what signals were present to indicate this market environment? Signals to indicate this market environment on daily time frame was I don't think I need to explain that, because the price is stuck on a daily time frame in both Nifty and Bank Nifty. At least in Bank Nifty, it is stuck in inside this range. Not in Nifty. Nifty is volatile, but so I don't know why the candle is not showing, but it's volatile, but still sideways market environment. In Bank Nifty, it's totally a sideways market environment. I did not trade the open in Bank Nifty because it was there were multiple zones actually. This was a supply zone. This was a previous supply zone. This happens to be a previous supply zone from where the market shot up. This also happens to be a previous supply zone because the trend line is there and there's a support over here. Uh, so this was quite confusing, and on the upside, one could have targeted 907, taking the trade around 787. Actually, I wanted to trade over here, but uh, unfortunately, I was not able to take the trade because the price went up till the time I was taking the trade. What key patterns are present, and how could you have been how could they have been used to identify the market trends and bias? So initially in the morning, the price refused to go down even after opening gap down, because of this is a sideways environment and the price was opening in the demand zones. So this demand started kicking in, especially in Bank Nifty, especially in Nifty. The demand started kicking in very strongly. I'll show this on it. Demand started, excuse me, kicking in very strongly, and I took the trade around at the close of this candle when I saw another kind of strong rejection from the bottom, and so I took the trade over here, and I was rewarded handsomely for this trade. 20, around 20, I booked around 20% around this place. I should have held for longer, but I was not very confident of the fact that I thought that this is the previous day low, and this also happened to be the previous day close on this place. So I was afraid that it might just mm, reverse from here. So you can see the volatility over here. Maybe this is a lesson for me that I should hold my trades for longer periods of time. Anyways, next section is open. How would you trade the open? So the thing is, I would trade the open as I traded today in Bank Nifty. I would have gone long at 935. In In Nifty, I would have gone long at around 920 itself, because I was confident after these two candles that, and definitely gone long strongly at the close of 925, which is around 930. I would have gone strongly with good quantities long, because the price opened above 300, and then at 15 minutes it's closing, forming a shooting star. You will see over there, forming a shooting star above 300. So this is a very nice pattern after a big gap down, one side movement. One could have easily predicted that price could have moved around at least till 33.33% over here, which was my initial target. Uh, the main problem over here was, since I was trading Nifty after a very long time, my quantity was very small. I planned to take a good risk on this trade because I generally trade Bank Nifty. But till the time I was trying to take the entry, the price moved away, so I thought that I left this trade. So trades taken. With the benefit of hindsight, what was your trade based on valid setup for the market environment? So there are multiple trades which I took today. So first trade is in Nifty at the open. Uh,
So this was my first trade. Uh, Review signals that led you to identify the trading opportunity. The signals were demand zone, and then shooting star, and then followed by another candle with strong here suppliers here. So these two were the primary reasons, and this was a trend line area as well. So I took a trade till previous days low and close. uh, was the initial stop location appropriate? Yes, I think the initial stop location was absolutely appropriate. uh, was it the ideal entry point? Ideal entry point could have been I think the entry point was ideal in this case. This was a good trade. uh, Improved entry, known improved entry. Initial stop location appropriate. Benefit stop have been has been placed. I would have placed my stop over here only. uh, for moving the stop to break even or beyond what signals? Yes, this was a nice question. I I think this was after target was achieved. uh, I don't know. I think the it should. I think I was aiming for this only because it was in a downtrend, and this was around 38% retracement. Uh, but once the price reached the target, then I don't know. Actually, I am not confident of the fact. Optimal exit location was around this place where I marked around 325. Uh, so yeah, and my second trade was again in Nifty only. It was based on this shooting star when the shooting star was formed. Uh, this was a very small scalp because if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 candles continuously, which were green bullish candles, and then a shooting star was formed, which was also not perfect shooting star. So I took the entry and kept the SL above the shooting star, which I think was pretty fine. And why this place? Because this place also happened to be a very very small supply zone. My target was absolutely up to the mark because this was not some place where I could have taken very big target or big position. My position was also extremely small. Uh, so this trade gave me 1,000 rupees profit, and this entry trigger I already told you. The trigger was shooting star, perfect shooting star setup. My target was also nice because this was not a place where enough suppliers would come in and take the market down. Target was also fine. Now after this, my another after this the trade was initiated on this candle. Uh, I think the trade was initiated on this candle. Yes, trade was initiated on 10:55 candle. Again, the same logic, but here you can see it was at a support zone. Sorry, resistance zone. So because of this, I took this entry, and I kept the SL above this shooting stars high. Uh, but my SL was hit in this trade. Uh, Although the target was appropriate and everything, but my SL was hit. Uh, so, what was the ideal entry point? Ideal entry point was, I think the entry point was ideal because it was formed at a support, and the it was satisfying the conditions for this thing, क्या बोलते हैं, the shooting star pattern. Initial stop location, appropriate initial stop location was, I think it could have been better because my initial stop was around 410 and it just touched my stop and then came back. So that was since it's Bank Nifty, you should always try to keep your SLs are bigger in Bank Nifty. So the entry should also have been a little more conservative. Could have been more conservative. Could have entered. This candle didn't touch 44,000. I should have kept that in mind. If some it is very near to that, then I should in Bank Nifty I should be more careful. Uh, Bank Nifty in general, you have to keep stop losses not above specific locations, but above zones. You have to see how the price is performing in the zone. Zone mentality is very important in Bank Nifty, not levels mentality. So this was one thing. My stop location should have been above definitely above 44,000, which it was, but also like at least 15 points above 44, big round number. 15 points is, I think it was fine, but my risk reward would have been very much screwed if I would have kept around 15 points above, but you can't be aiming for more than that. Then again, I took one entry. This was my fourth trade. I took this entry over here. Why? Because I was expecting that this was a supply zone, today's supply zone, because the market opened and then it shot up from here. So this should be respected over here. But keeping in mind that the market is coming down from such a long this place, uh, and the trend line at that point of time was around this, like this. So it was a fake breakout, and then it was a breakout and then it failed. So failed breakout gives good momentum moves. So this was one uh, trigger which I should have had kept in mind, that if it fails then I have to get out quickly. uh, but I stayed in this. So this was one not one this was one good warning that after I should not have stayed in this trade. I should have gotten out around 798, 795, at max 796 at max, because this the I was aiming for a very long this thing. I was expecting the market to move up from here. Uh, why? Because it gave such a strong move. I expected the market to hold the low of the day, but that was a very wrong expectation because market is still in sideways action. Also, this was a trend line. If you see over here, the important trend line, and it did not sustain above that trend line. So one could have easily assumed that it will break, and so this was wrong. This was a wrong trade. Yes, this is it. So two trades in profit and two trades in loss. Uh, both the trades in Bank Nifty were in loss, and both the trades in Nifty were in profit. Uh, then came the third trade, which was game changer for me. So 1000 rupees profit, 400 rupees profit, and this was around 400 rupee loss, and this was again some 400 rupee loss. 400 to 600 rupee loss. So from plus 1500, around 1500, I came back to around 500 mm, uh, positive. And then this was one trade where I took this trade and I was expecting it to break down because it was consolidating uh, on a demand zone. It wasn't going up as it should, and it was consolidating over there, and it was forming lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So it went up. I took an entry over here. I kept the SL above previous two highs actually, and it still went on to break this, and I exited as soon as I broke this. If I would have waited till the candle close, I would have definitely not exited. I had a better entry, but and I took another entry. I had one entry at 36, another entry at 27, and I exited at 26.8. And the low of the options chart, if you'll see, it was 26.75. So market reversed after taking my SL. Excuse me. I identified this thing that my SL was hunted, and this was a fake breakout. If you see, this was a trend line, very small trend line, a very small micro level, small trend line. It was failing. If you see over here, I'll draw it for you, and I'll do it 1 minute time frame. It's very small trend line, and this trend line was failed. This trend line failed. Then I entered with very big quantities over here, but since this thing was not very clear, it happened very fast. So my as the target should be the day low, but I entered somewhere around this place as the market was breaking this, and I exited because my quantity was huge. I was not able to see here and there what's happening. I had to punch in orders and everything. So that's why I was not able to take advantage of this thing fully. But next time, this entry trigger was very nice. The breakout and then the breakout failure uh, towards the downside. The bias was always towards the downside since it was consolidating. It went up, huge sell off, went up, came down, consolidated, continuation. So yeah, these were the five trades which I took today.